gentlemen, welcome to your HIMediaTV news update. I'm your host, and we're going to get into your top headlines of the day, starting with Manju Raju and Lauren Fox article from CNN. Congressional leaders announce spending deal as shutdown threat looms. The top line numbers agreed to by House Speaker Mike Johnson and Senate Majority Chuck Schumer include $1.59 trillion for fiscal year 2024 and $886 billion for defense spending and a $704 billion for non-defense spending. They also agreed to a $69 billion side deal and adjustments that would go towards non-defense domestic spending. The side deal brings the non-defense spending figure to nearly $7.73 billion, a Democratic source told CNN, with a spending close to $1.6 trillion overall. While their agreement on funding levels will reduce the chances of a shutdown, there are still major hurdles facing Congress ahead of two funding deadlines, January the 19th and February the 2nd. One of those hurdles is how to deal with the demands by conservatives to use the funding bill as leverage to impose more stringent immigration and border security demands. Congress will have to approve funding bills or a stopgap resolution to avoid a shutdown by the deadlines, as it remains uncertain how the effort will play out, even though Schumer and Johnson have a deal on funding levels. Meanwhile, by Minovan Burke on Yahoo.com, 2 people killed, 9 injured in pileup that closed fog-shrouded I-5 in California. The pileup occurred on the southbound side of the freeway in Kern County, but both sides were closed and traffic was diverted, the California Department of Transportation, known as Caltrans, said on Twitter. Two people were killed and 9 others were injured this past Saturday in a massive pileup on the Interstate 5. Caltrans did not provide further details, and the California Highway Patrol and Kern County Fire Department could not be reached for comment. Lastly, former President Donald J. Trump says civil war could have been negotiated. So, quote, so many mistakes were made. So many mistakes were made. See, there was something that even I could have negotiated, to be honest with you. Trump said at a campaign event in Newton, Iowa, I think you could have negotiated that. I'm not doing the voice anymore. All those people died. So many people died. The former president's comments come a little over a week before the first in the nation caucuses in Iowa, where he has a significant lead in the polls over his closest rivals, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis and former South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley. The Civil War has emerged as an unlikely talking point in the GOP primary trail more than a week before Trump's comments. However, Nikki Haley answered a question about the cause of the Civil War without mentioning slavery, the driving force behind the war. This is consensus by historians, by the way. She has since backtracked, repeatedly saying she thought that fact went without saying. Trump's remarks were not made in response or in reference to Haley's. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for listening to your HIMediaTV news update. I appreciate you. I appreciate your time. I appreciate your listenership. And I'll see you guys next time.